The concept of God has perplexed humanity for millennia. We've defined it, redefined it, argued about it, and fought wars over it. But what if God is nothing? What is nothing? Can you even imagine it? Close your eyes and try to picture absolute nothingness. It's impossible, isn't it? Our minds can't conceive of true nothingness. Every time we try, we fill that void with something. Darkness, empty space, a vacuum. But these are all still something. Even in the darkest depths of space, there's still matter, energy, the fabric of space-time itself. Even in the quietest moment of meditation, there's still the rhythm of your breath, the beating of your heart. We're surrounded by something. Our entire existence is predicated on something. We are something, experiencing other somethings. So how can we possibly understand nothing? Science tells us that even in the vacuum of space, particles pop in and out of existence. Quantum fluctuations in the fabric of reality itself. Nothing, it seems, is never truly nothing. And yet, from this apparent nothingness, everything arose. The Big Bang, the birth of our universe. Everything came from a singularity, a point of infinite density and zero volume. Physicists struggle to describe what came before the Big Bang. Our laws of physics break down. Time itself loses meaning, and we're back to nothing. But is this nothing? Truly nothing? Or is it something so fundamental, so primordial, that it defies our ability to perceive or describe it? In many spiritual traditions, God is described as ineffable, beyond human understanding or description. The Tao Te Ching says, "The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name." What if God, the source of all existence, is this incomprehensible nothingness? The void from which all things emerge and to which all things return. It's a paradox, to be sure. How can nothing be everything? How can the absence of all things be the source of all things? But isn't that the nature of reality? Wave and particle. Being and non-being. Everything and nothing. In the world of duality, we see opposites everywhere. Light and dark. Good and evil. Something and nothing. But non-duality teaches us that these opposites are one and the same. Just as a wave is not separate from the ocean, we are not separate from the universe. And the universe itself is not separate from the nothingness from which it arose. Every something in our universe is mostly nothing. Atoms are almost completely empty space. The vast majority of the universe is what we call empty space. Even our thoughts, our consciousness, arise from the apparent nothingness of our minds. Where do thoughts come from? Where do they go when they're gone? We are so focused on the somethings, we miss the profound nothingness that underlies all existence. We're like fish swimming in water, unaware of the very medium that gives us life. To say God is nothing is not to deny the divine. It's to recognize that the divine is beyond all concepts, beyond all definitions, beyond all somethings. It's to understand that the source of all being is itself beyond being and non-being. It's the ground of all existence, and yet it exists in a way we can never fully grasp. This idea challenges us to let go of our need to define, to categorize, and to understand. For in that nothingness, that void, we find the freedom to be everything. We find the infinite potential of existence itself. Consider the number 0. In mathematics, it represents nothing. And yet, it's the foundation of our entire number system. Without 0, complex mathematics would be impossible. Similarly, the concept of nothing, this void we can't comprehend, might be the very foundation of existence itself, the canvas upon which the universe paints itself. In many Eastern philosophies, this idea is central. The Buddhist concept of sunyata, or emptiness, teaches that all phenomena are empty of inherent existence, that at their core, all things are nothing. In Hinduism, Brahman is described as neti neti, not this, not that. It can't be defined by any attribute, can't be limited by any description. In essence, It's nothing we can conceive of. And yet, this Brahman is considered the ultimate reality, the source and substance of all that exists. Nothingness is not just the origin, but also the sustained reality of all existence. All things continually emerging from and returning to this divine nothing. In quantum physics, we see a similar idea. The quantum vacuum, often described as empty space, is actually a seething sea of virtual particles, popping in and out of existence in the blink of an eye. It's the cosmic womb from which all things are born. Perhaps our consciousness, our very sense of self, is itself a manifestation of this divine nothingness. For many, it can be difficult to look beyond the somethings that fill our lives and peer into the vast nothingness that underlies all existence. We cling to our somethings, our identities, our beliefs. The idea of nothing threatens to sweep it all away. But what if in losing everything, we gain the universe? What if in embracing nothingness, we become everything? That we are both the drop and the ocean, the wave and the sea. To understand God as nothing is to understand ourselves as nothing. Not in a nihilistic sense, but in the sense of infinite potential. We are the blank canvas upon which the universe paints itself. In this understanding, we find true freedom. Freedom from the limitations of identity. Freedom from the boundaries of self. Freedom to be everything. Because we are, at our core, nothing. In that nothingness, you might just find everything. You might just find yourself. For you are that which is beyond all definitions, beyond all somethings and nothings. You are the awareness in which all things arise and fall away. And in that understanding, you might just touch the face of God. For in the end, what is God but the ultimate mystery? The question that can never be fully answered, the reality that can never be fully grasped, and what is nothing but the ultimate mystery, the concept that can never be fully understood, the reality that underlies all existence, the source and substance of all that is and all that is not. So embrace the nothing. Dive into the void. For in that infinite emptiness, you might just find the fullness of being. You might just find God. For you are that nothing, and that nothing is everything. And in fully understanding that, you can realize you're perfect and complete, just as you are.